Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of January the 10th, 2025. Who else does Alita remind us of, fictional or real life? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado. And with me is our co-host, that would be Angelus, and he's from Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. How's it going,
Good day.
Angelus? And also, I'm sorry, Angelus?
Van bloody tastic.
Cool. And from Deutschland, or Germany, as us dumb Americans like to call it sometimes, we have Smendrick19. How's it going, Smendrick? Bruce Scott.
Hello all together. Hello Creaky. Hello Angelus. Yeah, it's very snowy here in this region of Germany. It's cold, and so yeah, we have winter landscape here.
Yeah, we have that also, although it snowed about, I guess like 2 or 3 days ago, but the snow is still on the ground because it's still cold. But yeah, we had that here. But down there, down under, where Angelus is, it's bloody hot, isn't it, Angelus?
Yep.
Yeah, you're pretty. How close are you to the equator there, Angelus? I'm not sure.
Pretty far off.
Yeah, you're probably I guess the equator is probably as far away from you north as say the equator would be from here south, I guess, in Denver. So anyway, that is what it is. So anyway, if anybody wants to join us here on the stream, there is the link. All you got to do is click on it. And if we have space permitting, we'll bring you in and you can talk about Alita with us. Just a few administrative things before we get to the main topic. Of course, it's just as a kind of a reminder, I guess, we have Rosa's Queen Studios Bust of Alita. And she knows that we have it. She knows my contact information. I have hers. And all we have to do is just when she's ready for that thing, I guess when the stars align or whatever it is, then she can let us know, and we will definitely get her this bust in any way she wants. If she wants to do a little presentation, we can do that too. And shoot video of it, or if all she wants me to do is just ship it to her, I will do that as well. We'll do this any way our queen wants it to be done. So, because as you remember, we are her subjects. She's our queen, and we're her subjects. Don't mean to put her on a pedestal like that, but anyway, that's the way it works, I guess. We also have the Alita sequel petition going on, and we added about, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 since last week. I don't remember. It's been going on now for 13 weeks, I believe, something like that. So we're adding on average about 10 per week. I know the Creek has promised that he was going to put some more money in here, and I will as soon as I see how it plays out, but because we want to keep it going. If you want to sign the petition, all you have to do is click on that link that you see below the image on your screen there. That link is also down in the description. That's what you want to click on, not the one on the screen, because that's really just an image on the screen. But you just enter your name and email address, and you've signed a petition. If you want to remain anonymous, in other words, you don't want anyone to know your name or your email address, then certainly you can just specify that this is an anonymous donation. If you want to give money, you can do that as well. You don't have to. You just click on, I believe it's that support now button. You click on that, and it asks you how much money and that kind of thing. So anyway, you don't have to give money, though. If all you want to do is sign the petition, you can do that without any problems whatsoever. We're not expecting you to give us any money whatsoever. And the Creek has exceeded well over 230,000 subscribers. Actually, I think I'm on the way to 240,000 now. But anyway, we do a lot of cool things on the channel. You know, we do live streams like you see here. We also do videos, both, you know, live videos. We do some AI, which that might bother some people. But we do a lot of movie clips and music videos and that sort of thing. We even do videos of Rosa Salazar herself, you know, because she's our queen. And, you know, we definitely want to keep her current, although I think she's doing pretty well in that market. I don't think she needs us to keep her current, but you know, she's doing quite well this year, as a matter of fact. And we do art and all kinds of cool things that are on the channel. And this is not just my channel. Certainly is certainly, you know, an Alita Army channel, but there are several Alita Army channels, and we're all trying to do the same thing. We're all going for that sequel, and that's what we want. We don't want anything else but the sequel. And as a matter of fact, the Creek wants more than one movie as a sequel. I want 5 more movies. But if I get one, that'll be a good first step. And if we get a second one, like James Cameron said he was working on, then the objective will be met overall. But hopefully those next 2 movies will do so well that we will have a 4, 5, and 6. And in addition to a series and maybe some more anime and stuff like that, and merch. We have a lot more merch coming, hopefully. And, you know, we want to start the Alita-verse is what we want. So any thoughts about that, you guys?
Not really. Except give us those sequels.
Yes, indeed.
Here and now, Disney.
Yep.
Mr. Bob Iger, I know you are listening. I know you are watching us.
Is he? I don't know if he is.
Yeah, I think he is watching us. And so you know, guy. Come on.
Genau.
It's that easy.
Yes.
Press the release button.
Yes. So we got the Alita Gaming Network too. We certainly will, you know, feature our live streams, not just on this live stream, but we feature Radio Chaos's live streams as well. And we also feature other live streams from other streamers. For instance, Chaos Nova does live streams, and you know, he puts links in there for his live streams as well. We do, you know, various, we also, any kind of content anybody wants to put on there, you can put the content on there. You don't have to go through me or Matu's someone helping me with this. You don't have to wait for permission or something like that. Now we do police the channel or police this Discord server, but we haven't had any cause to do that in any kind of serious way, because everybody on here is just having fun. We're not, you know, we don't want to put anything on there, you know, too untoward or anything like that. We just, you know, we just want to put fun content on there. And, you know, if you're an artist, you can upload art, you can upload your videos if you want, or you can put links to your videos if you have a YouTube channel. Or if you've done, if you say maybe upload a video to X or Blue Sky, you can copy those URLs and post them in there as well. And the Gaming Network server will pick it up. We also do watch parties on there. And we were going to do a watch party last Monday, but, you know, I guess we didn't have anybody show up except Smendrick and I, and Smendrick had to leave early. So we're going to do it again. I know Mandatory Carry wanted to watch, he wanted to watch, I guess, the anime, the Alita anime. So we had planned to do that as well. But, you know, since he couldn't make it either, so we just postponed, and we'll probably do it either Monday, this coming Monday, or the Monday after. And, you know, I'll post in what you see, the watch party text channel that you can see there. is where you'll see it. And I guess for the next one, maybe I'll just also post it on X and Blue Sky too, just so folks know that, you know, if that we're going to have a watch party on the Alita Gaming Network itself. And I guess that's pretty much it. I know Smendrick and Lottie hang out, you know, on the voice channels, and they play games on it. You can do the same thing if you want to, you know, if you want to do some kind of gaming on there, you can do that as well. You know, you don't need the Creek to, you know, kick things off. You just start it up. And that's kind of what you guys are doing, isn't it, Smendrick? You're playing games on there and I guess sharing it with each other.
I watched Angelus playing some games.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vladdy isn't here today.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in the near future we will have much more.
Yeah. Right now, I think we got, I mean, it's still a small channel because we're not really promoting it or anything like that. But certainly it will grow. But, you know, you see the link there under our little Chibi Alita mascot there. You just click on that. That link is also down in the description. You click on that, you'll get the invite, and you can join the channel and you can start doing your own stuff. You know, you don't have to, it's not like X or even Blue Sky for that matter. You know, I mean, you can pretty much upload, well, you can pretty much upload anything you want on X or Blue Sky as well. But, you know, this is not something you got to wait for an administrator or something like that to okay, you know, your upload. Now, of course, if the Creek or say Matu, if we see something on there that shouldn't be on there, we're going to delete it, you know, and of course, you know, if that keeps happening, you know, folks can be removed. But, you know, we haven't had that problem. You know, people are just having fun, and that's a good thing. Okay, I guess right into the topic, I guess, here. This is actually Angelus's idea, and it's a really super idea. I really liked it when he suggested this. But, you know, there are a lot of different characters and other IPs that are like strong female characters in their respective universes. And we're, you know, we just kind of want to figure out, you know, which one of these, if any of them, actually remind us of Alita. And we kind of did one similar, or did a comparison here about 3 weeks ago when we compared, or maybe as long ago, and it might have been a month ago, where we compared Alita to not Black Widow, but Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. And we saw a lot of similarities there, but that was more of a comparison. This is not kind of like what we're going to do here. You know, what is it about these characters that reminds us of Alita? And right now we got the fictional characters up there, but we are going to talk about the real life characters when we get past some of these. But you can see a lot of these are from the Marvel and the DC universes. I guess Ghost in the Shell isn't. You know, Ghost in the Shell is from a separate universe, but every one of these, I guess, you know, are actually, you know, from either one of those two universes. And this is the list I came up with, and I got slides on each one of these, of course. Is there anything that's any fictional character not up there that, say, Angelus, you or Smendrick might think maybe I've overlooked or something like that? Any idea whatsoever?
Not sure.
Well,
not sure. A bit from the Nier Automata things from the universe.
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for. Maybe Android 18 or something like this. But the really specialists are not in the stream at the moment, so I would stay silent.
Yeah, and another one I thought of too, just as I did it, because when I put this together, you know, you put it together and you're done with it and stuff like that. But another one I thought of that really reminds me of Alita is Eve, from Stellar Blade. And another one, yeah,
okay.
that one reminds me of Alita. Although I haven't seen a lot. I've seen clips of it, but I haven't seen a lot. I don't play. I'm not a gamer as per se, And I guess another one would be Angelus. What was the name
You're
of that?
an 8,000-year-old powerlifter cosplaying powerlifter.
Yeah, I haven't done any cosplaying. The last cosplaying I did, if you can call it this, was I cosplayed.
Well, I'm
Jeremiah.
out. There's a fire alarm. I gotta go.
Okay, no problem. But anyway, yeah, I guess the last thing, I guess you could call it a cosplay. I was at a costume party once, and I cosplay or dressed up as the character Jeremiah Johnson. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he was a mountain man back in the mid 1800s, So, and that, of course, that was inspired me because that used to be my favorite movie, one of two. Now, of course, Alita is, So anyway, but I dressed up like a mountain man, and back then I had a beard and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of, looked like a mountain man, I guess, So, so anyway, but that also reminded me, and I meant to ask Angelus before he had to leave because of the fire alarm. There was another character that he and I we watched an anime together, and I think it was like 8 episodes that we watched. And I can't remember the name of the anime now, but that reminded me of Alita a lot. When he comes back on, I'll ask him about it. So, okay, well, I guess if we can't think of anything else, Black Widow, of course, strong female character, a member of the Avengers, a trained assassin and an operative. She's kind of like she would be before she was joined the Avengers. I guess she was a KGB agent, I suppose. I'm not sure how that worked, since it's been many years since the KGB, since the Soviet Union's been around. But, she was a pretty extremely talented kind of hand-to-hand fighter and stuff like that. And like say she's you could say she's a superhero. Now that said, she wouldn't be classified as a metahuman because she's an extremely talented human, but she's not a metahuman, or she's not a mutant or anything like that. So but she is a very good at what she does, and certainly was able to fight characters like Proxima Midnight, which was one of Thanos's children, I guess, fought her, and fought that that one elf looking guy, Corvus something or other. I can't remember his name, but anyway, she was able to. Yeah, that's right, Bad Man. Yeah, essentially the same organization. Yeah, that I agree with that. Oh, what's this? Okay, Charlie from Long Kiss Goodnight, played by Gina Davis. Now, I didn't see that movie, Alita, the Killing Angel. Okay, yeah, all righty. That's a good catch. I guess another one would be there was a series that came out a few years ago called The Dark Angel or something like that. And it had Jessica Alba played the lead, and I have heard that I saw the first episode of that, and that's it. But I have heard that she reminds a lot of people of Alita. I guess maybe the name Angel after her for a series or something like that. So. But anyway, any thoughts about Black Widow there, Smendrick?
No, maybe we should ask our guys and girls in the chat. Is there something we could add here?
Yeah, anybody in the chat, what is it about Black Widow that may remind you of, say, Alita? Other than the fact she's good looking.
Yes, of course.
I don't see anything.
No.
Well, anyway, this character, you know, certainly, like I said, is in the Avengers, and actually last year I got their own series. I guess it was, or was it a movie? I guess it was a movie called Black Widow.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was pretty good. I saw that as well, and that was more of a prequel because you remember Black Widow got killed. Spoiler alert! Sorry about that. But she, you know, she died in Endgame, I guess, when. Oh boy, I'm really going to spoil this, but I bet everybody here has seen Endgame or heard of it at least, where you know, she sacrificed herself so Hawkeye could get the Soul Stone. You know, so. And that was a pretty emotional scene, I think, you know, there and afterwards, you know. What is this? Yeah, that's right. She does have a lot of gadgets, you know, not quite as many as Alita did as a tuned agent, but yeah, she does for sure. She's got those, you know, whatever that device is that allows her to, you know, put electricity on you, you know, stun people with electricity. You know, she has that on like 2 gauntlets, I think what you see on her wrists there. Certainly she's expert with a firearm, you know, she's really good with that. So, yeah, that's a good catch, Batman. I mean, the bad man, not Batman. Sorry about that. Anything else, guys? Okay, well, let's kind of move on, I guess, to Captain Marvel now. You know, I'm not trying to be a smart ass here with this one. Yeah, but Captain Marvel is a strong female character. I mean, she's you know, she's tantamount to like Superman in a lot of ways. You know, I mean, she can fly, and you know, she's extremely powerful. As a matter of fact, she rescued Tony Stark, if you remember, and they were in that Quinjet, I guess, that was located maybe who knows how many light years from Earth, and she discovered them and then took them back to Earth. So that you know, if you were just 1 light year away from Earth and you got that jet back here, you know, and within a short amount of time, that's pretty powerful, you know. But certainly she's a member of the Avengers as well. As a matter of fact, she is pretty much beaten up on Thanos until he hit her with a power stone, you know, and then you know, kind of sent her flying, you know. But she was definitely having her way with him, sort of, you know. And yeah, what was this Alita Killing Angels got here? Yes, yeah, that's right, I guess. Yeah, that's a good point. Was he Alita Killing Angel? Was he? Now, he wasn't directly involved with Dark Angel, was he? I'm not sure, you know. Lord Tyrone. Why did I come back here and see Brie Marvel? I guess you mean Brie Larson on your screen. Well, that's because she's a strong female character, and we just wanted to, you know, evaluate whether or not she reminds us of Alita. For me personally, she doesn't really remind me of Alita. She has the only thing I think that she has in common with Alita is she has super strength, you know, and she's a strong female character, and that's about it, you know, because other than that, they're not similar in a lot of ways. I mean, Alita is a cyborg for the most part. In the Last Order, she's an android, whereas Captain Marvel is, you know, human. You know, now you could make the case that Captain Marvel would be like a metahuman because what she can do is beyond anything humans can do. But you can say the same thing about Alita as well.
But I think she reminds me very, very close to our Battle Angel.
In what way is that?
Because, yeah, that's the important question. Because they had the same release date.
Yeah, that's
movies, right. And she was threatening our release of the movie and takes away the attention. or
Yeah.
tries to take away the attention. Yeah, so she will be connected to our angel. Yeah, not in a really good sense of memory.
I want to welcome Lee from way south of Colorado Springs. How's it going there, Lee?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you guys?
Pretty good. You haven't missed much. All we did was we talked a little bit about, first of all, we've had these people we're going to go over in fiction. So we discussed Black Widow a little bit, how she may remind us of Alita in some ways. And of course, she has gadgets, kind of like Alita has in the Toon program. She's an expert fighter, kind of like Alita is with Panzer Kunst. And of course, she's, not only a good fighter, but she's really good with firearms like Alita is. Now, she's unlike Alita in that she's a human. She's not a cyborg or an android. She's none of that. So, but other than that, she is somewhat similar to Alita in that way. Now, Captain Marvel, I think the only thing that she reminds me of Alita is the fact that she's got super strength and she is a strong female character, and that's about it. Certainly she's more of a meta-human in the DC sense, even though she's from Marvel. And Alita is a cyborg or an android, depending on which arcs you're going through. So anyway, Lee, what's your thought about her and say Black Widow and Captain Marvel?
Well, with Black Widow, I think somebody pointed out that she's got about as many gadgets as a tuned agent.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at tuned agent Alita, fairly similar. They're both highly trained female combatants, except in Alita's case, she was a Panzer Kunst practitioner, and Black Widow was a Russian assassin.
Yeah.
Or a Soviet Union assassin.
Yeah.
They're highly trained martial artists. They are both fighting to protect people who can't protect themselves. At least, actually, in both cases, they are now, whereas before they weren't.
Yeah, that's right.
Although Black Widow didn't lose her memory, she just changed sides, as it were.
Yeah, that's right. And what about Captain Marvel? Is there anything about her that reminds you of Alita?
Superhuman strength.
Yeah, that's what I said as well.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about all I can think. I mean, the way they wrote her, unfortunately, she does not have the compassion or the charisma or the humanness, I guess, of Alita.
Yeah.
She has actually seemed more machine than Alita does.
What do you mean by that?
Well, she lacks a lot of the humanity that Alita does. She doesn't have the compassion or warmth that Alita does.
Yeah. Boy, that's ironic, isn't it? Because Alita is mostly machine, isn't she?
Yeah,
and she is more
Alita's
human.
got a machine body. If you're talking about the Imaginos Alita, then she's like, fully machine. But
yeah. But even at that, either whether she's a cyborg or an android, she has more of her humanity than it seems like Captain Marvel has, right?
Yeah, I mostly blame that on the way Captain Marvel was written.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I didn't read a lot about Captain Marvel way back in the day when I was younger, in comic books. I mean, I certainly knew who she was, but I didn't read a lot about her, but I don't know how close the movie portrayed her as she is in the comic books. I have no idea, Captain Marvel robbed a man of his motorcycle, his keys, and jackets.
Yeah, there is that.
And that's something Alita doesn't seem to do.
I don't recall she ever doing that.
No, she doesn't,
I think the closest she ever got to that was that time when Yolg was freaking out because he didn't want to die. They were under a bombardment from the barjack, and she just about pistol whipped. Actually, she did pistol whip him before Figure stepped in. But I think that's the closest Alita ever came to anything like that.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that certainly. Well, I think with Captain Marvel, basically, you remember the guy that she stole it from was kind of, I don't know how to describe him. He was kind of, you know,
He was
hey,
kind of being a bit of a
yeah,
jerk, but that didn't
yeah,
warrant him being assaulted and robbed. I
yeah,
don't
that's right. You know, kind of like, you know, hey, honey, you know, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Well, okay, you don't call Captain Marvel or Alita honey.
Mm.
You just don't do that stuff, you know, or else you might, you know, be in for some real issues there, you know,
Yeah.
physically, you know. Okay, what else? I didn't read everything that Lord. Let's see. I don't really like when any female character does that. Yeah, that's right. That yeah, he wasn't. It's kind of like Lee was saying. He was certainly being a bit of a jerk to her, but it's as Lee pointed out, it didn't warrant him getting his bike stolen. So
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know,
he never actually attacked her or anything. So
no, he never did that. Yeah,
yeah, I would say I wouldn't like it when any character does that kind of thing. Anyone that's supposed to be the good guy does that kind of thing. It's
yeah,
not really a good guy type look.
yeah. If he's got a bad attitude like Badman
Or if he
has,
actually attacks him.
yeah, that's right. But having just a bad attitude doesn't warrant you stealing their stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, let them have their bad attitude and just say, hell
Now,
with
if it was
you.
an
You know,
emergency or something like that,
yeah,
and
that's
she
right.
had to have it, and the guy was just being a jerk and not letting her explain or something like that, I
Yeah,
could see that maybe, you know, so,
yeah, perhaps. You
you know,
know,
lives are on the line kind of thing. But that wasn't the case here.
okay. I guess this is going to pertain more to Black Widow. You know, the Commer Group was an assassination squad also, you know, so, and as well, they were into sabotage as well, I guess. So, you know, that would be pretty close to what Black Widow was as a Soviet Union, an agent of the Soviet Union. So, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that I agree with that. I mean, I enjoyed that movie, Captain Marvel, but I only saw it once, you know.
You know,
And
same with me. I liked the action. The effects were good. It was an okay
yeah,
movie. I enjoyed it well enough, but it wasn't
yeah,
anything close to Alita.
yeah. I bet for me, I bet I've watched Alita close to 90 times now. You know,
Yeah,
I
I've
lost.
lost track of time.
Yeah,
I lost
I
count.
I lost track
way back
too.
when I
Yeah.
lost track. You know, I tried to calculate it one time, but you know, I've been with the Alita Army now probably, yeah, going on 5 years now, I guess. You know, and you figure if you look at it so many times a month and you multiply that times a month and the number of years and stuff like that, then okay, then you can come up with some, you know, estimate, you know. But I know when I fly cross country, I watch Alita every time. You know,
Hmm.
I was sitting on the airplane, you know. So anyway, that's you know, so and I've flown across country several times, so you know. See what
Yeah, Mr. Eiger, it's nearly 6 years now. We are waiting for your green light. Come on.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, we are. She didn't steal the motorcycle, she commandeered it. Okay.
It could be argued that she did, yeah, but
Yeah, that's
even
right.
so, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, super strength though is about all I can say that would be the
Super
same.
strength and toughness.
Well,
She
one
does
thing,
have the ability to fly through space and at FTL speeds, which Alita doesn't
yeah,
have. So they're both
yeah,
superhuman capabilities.
yeah, and I guess with her, well, with Captain Marvel, she is a metahuman, and we had a stream on this many years ago about Alita, which I consider Alita a metahuman.
Oh,
You know,
she's.
when she's in her berserker body, you know.
Yeah.
Now, of course, she's an android in Last Order, so she's, even though she retains her humanity, she's not really you couldn't call her a metahuman, you know.
Mhm.
She's more like in her berserker body, she's more like Cyborg, you know, is in the DC universe, you know. So,
Mhm.
but another thing they do have in common that is somewhat similar is that Captain Marvel can kind of, I guess, emit, you know, bolts of lightning, I guess you could say, you know, and when
Mhm.
she goes into that binary form, she can do some stuff, which is kind of similar in some ways to Alita's plasma weapon, you know. So I guess they got that in common a little bit
Yeah,
too,
they got
you
some
know.
energy weapon capabilities there. Although
Yeah,
I don't think Alita has the range that Captain Marvel does on hers.
No, the only thing she can do, she doesn't have the range on hers inherently, but what she can do is she can call lightning down like she did in the anime, because, plasma is really positively charged
Yeah, it's
just
ionized
charged.
gas,
Yeah.
basically.
And so that would attract lightning. So, that would, cause that to happen, similar to the way Thor does with his hammer, but Captain Marvel can do, this is built within her, that she can project energy, project it, not just let it, in say like maybe envelop her hands or something like that, but it's but they do have energy weapon capabilities between the two of them.
Yeah.
So.
Did she ever get a sequel?
Yes, and it was horrible from what I heard. My brother told me, don't bother your time, don't waste your time watching it.
Okay.
Yeah, he said it was pretty awful. And I know I can't remember what it scored on Rotten Tomatoes, but it was pretty bad, and the reviewers didn't like it. And oh, wait a minute, what's this? She can throw plasma. Okay.
Okay, so she does have a bit of range on it.
She does have a bit of range. Yeah. Okay. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really entirely certain about that. I never really saw her do it at range.
Yeah.
At least not that I remember, anyway.
You guys are impressive. I guess we are Alita the Killing Angel. I've only watched Alita about 20 times.
I think there's that one guy in China who had the number of times he watched was like in the triple digits or something like that.
Yeah, 130 times or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and I bet he's upped his game since then, because that was 5 years ago, wasn't it? 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
ago?
that was back when it first released.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was up around 200 or 300 by now. So, but anyway, Alita Killing Angel, that's 20 times. That's impressive. That is still impressive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people only watch a movie maybe once or twice, but to have one that
Yeah.
grab your attention like that, that's something.
Okay, Lady Sif. Now she's an Asgardian. She's not a member of the. I guess she's an Asgardian for sure, and she's an extremely good fighter, and certainly she knows how to handle a sword, which is common to what Alita knows how to handle the Damascus blade sword. So they have that in common. She is more of a superhuman.
Well, she's not even a human.
No, she's not. She's actually an alien or an Asgardian.
Yeah, Asgardians aren't part of the human race. They just have a human appearance.
Well, yeah, but I have heard people say, though, but like both be similar to what I hear with Kryptonians, from the DC universe, is that they are humans with a superior biology. So, I don't know, because I mean, the DC universe considers Superman a metahuman, even though he's a Kryptonian. He's an alien. He's not a Earth human. But I could see it either way. But I guess you could say her abilities would be superhuman. Itself. She's pretty strong. I don't think she's near as strong as Alita. But she's pretty strong. She's a really good fighter with that sword, So, and I think she was maybe wanted to be Thor's girlfriend or something. I'm not sure about that one, But she's certainly not a cyborg, and she certainly has no energy weapon inherent in her body that she can use or project, So.
I would actually say that maybe Lady Sif being an Asgardian and having a Asgardian's biology is probably biologically as tough as Alita with her cybernetic body.
Maybe so.
Probably just not as fast, but strength-wise and toughness-wise, Asgardians are way up there on the capabilities.
Well, the upper tier Asgardians are, but the lower tier are Asgardians, like what you saw, in the movie Thor Ragnarok, when they were trying to get on that spaceship to escape Asgard because I guess Hela was on there, and you know, I guess that big creature that actually blew up. Surtur, yeah, that's right.
I think that's what his name was.
Yeah, Surtur. They were trying to get off there. They didn't appear to me that those people didn't appear to be like anything great. They seemed to be more like humans to me. So,
well, even an average Asgardian is still really tough. It's just that they were up against something even tougher than them.
Yeah, that's right.
And Lady Sif is a combat trained Asgardian. She is probably as well trained as Alita. It's just in a different style of combat.
Yeah. Other than that, the fact that she's got that sword.
Oh, she uses a small shield too.
Yeah, she has a shield, although Alita doesn't use a shield. But
Alita's style is all about attack.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, the fact that they're both skilled with fighting with swords, you know, I guess they have that in common. I wouldn't say Lady Sif, though, actually reminds me of Alita too much, you know, other than she's a strong female character. She has stronger than normal human strength, you know. Maybe
she got superhuman capabilities.
Yeah, she does have some of that. I don't know if I agree if she's as strong as Alita. She might be. I don't.
Well, not necessarily in the Imaginos body, but in the Berserker body. I mean, Lady Sif, Asgardians as strong as her, typically have the ability to lift cars and things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't see that in the movies, but maybe, you know.
Well, based on some of the other stuff I've seen some other Asgardians do in like comic books and things, they've got a lot of strength.
Yeah, so I guess I'll relent on that. But other than those two things, I don't see Lady Sif as reminds me of Alita too much, except the fact that she has some qualities in common. Plus, she's a good sword fighter like Alita is. So
yeah, I don't know enough about her personality-wise to really make a comparison there. But physical capabilities, they seem pretty close.
Yeah, they probably.
Except I think Alita is probably faster than Lady Sif, because I don't think Lady Sif has the kind of reflexes that Alita does.
Yeah.
In her combat cyborg body.
Well, there was one scene there when they were fighting on Vanaheim or whatever, and all, you know, some of those Asgardians were fighting against some of these monster-looking creatures, you know, that were humanoid, you know, and
was that the Frost Giants?
No, not the Frost Giants. That was early on in Thor Ragnarok, I think. But anyway, you know, she was, you know, this is the one where Thor came down, you know, through the Bifrost, and she told Thor, "I got everything under control." And he says, "Is that why everything's on fire?" So anyway, but he had his back to one person, one of these one of these monster-looking creatures that shot this. You know, projectile at him, looked like some kind of arrow or something, and she was fast enough to put her shield up behind him, you know, and you know, the projectile hit her shield, you know, so she was pretty fast there, you know. I agree with you. I don't think her reflexes are as fast as Alita's, because I know Alita's reflexes are going to be like her reflex is going to be no less or no greater than 40 milliseconds. And I think it's even faster than that, you know, but because just based on that one scene where that Centurion fires that bullet at her and she deflects it, you know, and assuming that
he didn't fire just one bullet either. He fired several.
Well, the first one he did. The one that she deflected, you know, there was just one shot to begin with. Then he started shooting at her with a Gatling gun, you know.
I would actually argue she may have parried more than one bullet, because as fast as those guns fire, they can put several rounds in one area in a fraction of a second.
Well, I think she kind of dodged a lot of those others, but I'm talking about that
I'm pretty sure she dodged a lot of them, yeah. But even that first one, I think it was probably followed up very quickly by a second and even third. It just happened really fast.
But I was going by measuring her reflexes on just that first shot, because assuming that Centurion was about 30 feet away from her, and then estimating the muzzle velocity of that gun being probably around 2,900 feet per second, something like that. And she deflected it. I calculated that, you know, that her reflexes were like over 200 times faster than the humans, and that was a max. You know, I mean, in other words, she might be, that was minimum rather. She might be much faster than that, because if you're just barely fast enough to deflect the bullet, then that's one thing. But if you're way faster than that, you can deflect that or many bullets. You see, is what I was going with. So, and I guess Angelus got recovered from his fire alarm situation there, right, Angelus?
Yep, I'm good.
Cool. Any other thoughts about Lady Sif, you guys?
I can think of. I don't, like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about her. Just some basic stuff like I've seen in the movies and comics and stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Smendrick?
I didn't really know her, or
Yeah.
I don't really know her. I cannot relate to a movie or a comic book or whatever.
Yeah, she was in. Lord Tyrone says that he's not familiar with her either, but yeah, she's been in like 2 or 3 of the Thor movies, you know, and she has, I think, well, just from what you can see in the movie, it looks like to me she's got a crush on Thor, you know. But you know, I mean, you know, Thor being a big old strapping guy, I guess who wouldn't, you know? Yeah. So, what about you, Angela? So, any thoughts about how maybe Alita reminds you of Black Widow, Captain Marvel, or Lady Sif for that matter?
Sorry, I'm still joining in. Technically coming in late, so
yeah.
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Now, we talked about her about a month ago, and for me, she's not in either the DC or the Marvel universes, obviously, but there's a lot about her that reminds me of Alita. You know,
it's Black Widow.
Yeah, well, sort of.
That was my first thought. It's like you're showing Black Widow again. It's like, oh wait, no, it's just Scarlett Johansson playing another character.
Yeah, that's right. Oh wow! One other thing Badman says about Lady Sif is that she was in, I guess, some episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I remember that she was in there. I just don't remember much about what she did while she was there. It's been so long since I've seen that series.
Yeah. Well, Motoko Kusanagi reminds me a lot of Alita, particularly in her berserker body. You know, I mean, it's. I guess this is one of Kashiro's contemporaries that wrote this. The Ghost in the Shell, I guess. Mm-hmm. And they probably, I don't know which one came first, but the one may have drawn on the other. But certainly, you know, she is very much like Alita. I think the difference between her and Alita is that you know, Alita's brain is the only thing, a part of her inner berserker body that's human. With Motoko Kusanagi, it's her brain and her spinal cord, I think, is human, you know, and the rest of her is machine. So, you know, I guess Alita's like 98%, you know, machine, and Motoko Kusanagi is 97% machine or something like that. But
not much of a difference.
No, not really. And they're both extremely skilled fighters. They're really good with firearms. Mm-hmm. You know,
they're both very focused and driven.
Yes. I guess Motoko Kusanagi doesn't have a plasma weapon per se, but she does have that that ability to go invisible, and I think that's that, you know, whatever that.
Yeah, that's an external device, I think, that she can make use of.
Yeah,
that's the thing. She doesn't have any built-in weapons, but she has a lot of weapons that are available that she knows how to use really well.
Yeah. And she kind of, when she broke into the early scene there, when she broke into that, you know, wherever they were having that dinner, you know, or something, when I can't remember who it was talking to the Japanese guy that was going to, folks that were going to give this African country some of this advanced technology or something. Mm-hmm. And it was all a scam, you know, so she breaks into there and pretty much wreaks havoc amongst all those robots that were in there, just blowing them all away. You know, that was very much like Alita. You know, I think, you know, doing what she did with the Centurions. You know, I mean, it was kind of a similar situation there. But Motoko Kusanagi is a cyborg. You know, she's definitely
she's what they would call a total replacement cyborg in Iron City.
Yeah, that's exactly what they would call her if they did some kind of crossover. You know, although I don't think
in Cyberpunk they call her a full conversion cyborg.
So in other words, she's been converted over to being a cyborg, I guess, or machine.
All of her flesh and blood body, except for her brain and part of her spinal cord, have been converted over to cybernetics.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot to talk about here with this one. Smendrick, what do you think? I mean, you saw Ghost in the Shell, didn't you?
It's there are a lot of similarities. Even the character itself, very human, very carefully, not only focused but carefully, and not acting really impulsive. But as we said before, focused and looking at the risks, looking at the opportunities. I like that. I love this character. I would like to see a crossover with both characters, but we'll see.
Hello.
Yep.
Creaky.
Hey.
Uh-oh. We lost
Creaky.
Oh, Creaky was lost to Motoko.
Maybe he had a fire alarm.
Oh. No, it's only in LA as far as we know.
So yeah, the short version is earlier on. I live in a high-rise building and live on level 41. Now, the building has 2 stages of fire alarms, the alert and evacuation. During the alert tone, nothing's locked down yet. During the evacuation tone, all the elevators get moved down to ground floor and then get locked there automatically. That's already in their programming. So essentially, during the alert tone, while everything's still freely moving around, that's why I basically hoof it straight away. So that way I don't have to walk down 41 flights of stairs just to get to ground level.
Oh, how many steps did you ever count it? How many steps?
No, so I mean, 41 levels, let's just say 12 steps.
I think that's 2 flights of stairs per. It's a lot of steps. Too many steps.
So 24 by 41.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I tell you, my internet, I don't know what it is about my internet. It just crashes and keeps crashing. It just
Motoko Kusanagi just checked out your connections.
Yeah.
She took over the control, so
I'll temporarily take over for my 2 because I've another long story made short is while I don't start work again until later on tonight, it's only nearly 9 o'clock in the morning at the moment.
Okay.
I do have to look at winding down and getting ready for bed soon.
Ah,
Again, not for a
Oh.
while, but it will be soon. So I'm going to get mine out of the way.
okay.
There we go. Click on that one. No, that work?
Yeah, yeah.
That worked.
Ooh.
Alrighty. So first up is Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. Now, the main topic did say that characters that remind us of Alita. And
They don't necessarily
in
have to
this
have the
case,
same physical capabilities, just
Yeah.
aspects of Alita that are reminiscent of her.
Yeah.
correct. And for, I guess, the bulk, at least in my personal opinion, others might have different interpretations of Tifa's personality would
Yeah.
be pretty much most of her, again, using movie terminology, most of her doll/berserker body arc, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
plus a little bit of tuned.
Tifa's a human, though, isn't she, Angelus?
Yes, she's fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
So, with Tifa, her backstory is that when the main villain of her game, because as that's where essentially her character originates from, burned down both the village. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase. Burned down the village where both she and the main character Cloud comes from. But during that, despite being, how should I put it, trained but not conditioned, was probably the best way I can put it. She'd probably maybe be the equivalent of, I'd say, a blue or maybe even a brown belt sort of thing. So mid to the high ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is during her teenage years, when the village got burnt down. But despite all that, call it bravery, call it stupidity, call it a combination of both, if you will. It's hard to, I guess, how shall I phrase this? It's hard to, I guess, call it one way or the other because of the conditions of what the event happened under. But essentially, the good guy went crazy, turned bad, and went, went havoc. And like I said, her village got caught in the crossfire. But during that, she picked up the sword that, for whatever reason, he just left lying around. And she confronted the main person, who easily dispatched of her. And, that's, again, one aspect of, now it's different in the manga, but in the movie, that's very reminiscent of her first fight. No, not first. Second fight with Gruishka in the underworld, where despite only having a doll body, she still went down there, still, like she hadn't fully recovered her, I guess, full functionality. And the fact that her skills were bottlenecked by her cybernetic body, the doll body at the time. Because it's only so much, her reflexes can only reach so many heights with the doll body. But she still took on Gruishka anyway.
Yeah.
Because, she was going to take something she loves, basically Ito, Hugo sort of thing, like in the bar, had she not done anything. And in the case of the movie, she jumps down to, basically he's just going to keep on coming back unless she does something about it.
Yeah.
And, it has to be here and now. Otherwise,
Who's the male character in this? That she starts up a kind of a relationship with him eventually, doesn't she?
that is in contention, but yes.
Okay.
It's complicated.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess in the fact that that's another aspect, because obviously Alita has multiple relationships and or love interests as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, she recovered from her injuries, got trained by a character by the name of Master Zangan, or Zangan, however you want to pronounce it. And he's basically an unarmed martial artist. And obviously Tifa's main sort of combat role comes from close quarters combat.
Yeah.
Again, another aspect that relates to Alita. Now, the reason why I say that she has only a little bit of tuned, or not even really tuned, but I guess basically right after her battle with Jashigan, because that's when she comes back to Ito afterwards.
Yeah. Who is this character Sephiroth? Folks in the chat are talking about. Who is he?
He's the main villain that you could say that he was a good guy gone rogue.
Ah.
And he's the main villain of the character.
Well, how would that Sephiroth? How would he stand up against Alita, say, in her berserker body?
I think at the very least, Alita would force Sephiroth to go full tilt. And
so,
with the
yeah.
berserker body's capabilities, he'd have to pretty much use his, no pun intended, because it has multiple meanings, but he'd have to use his trump card, which is like a massive, like, FU sort of spell that he casts. In the game, it's called Meteor or something like that. And that's basically like a world-ending, galaxy-destroying, like Kamehameha wave sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Alita? How would he do against Alita in her Imaginos 2.1 body?
Oh, she'd same thing, but as he was, I guess, casting the spell, Alita would
cut his head off or something.
She'd see it coming. Long story short, and basically just take him out. Like she'd then go full tilt, and basically whatever it takes to take him out, and she'd do it quite easily because they're both like on like a superpower sort of level anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason why I ask is because, we've had streams in the past where we talked about how Alita would do against, say, Thanos. And I think we came to the conclusion that if Alita was in her Imaginos 2.1 body, Thanos wouldn't stand a chance, against her because she's so fast, that she would take him out before he could snap his fingers. So,
but at the same time, while she does only have close quarter combat capabilities, again, using a Dragon Ball reference this time, Tifa can manipulate, I guess if you want to call it, life energy or chi, because she does have flashy moves within the game sort of thing.
Yeah.
But being the fact that it's called Final Fantasy, it's going to be exactly that, a fantasy game. It's not going to be
Yeah.
grounded in any sort of reality that we know of.
That
But
Sephiroth guy sounds like a analog to say Thanos or Darkseid, isn't he?
I'd say Sephiroth would be a lot closer to for a lot closer to Embody than anything
Ah,
else.
okay. That's
And
so,
like while Embody might have the intelligence, Sephiroth just has the raw strength to just fucking
yeah,
take anyone out.
yeah,
I mean, he had that sort of level of strength
yeah,
even beforehand, before he went crazy.
yeah. Yeah,
But yeah,
didn't mean to
so
sidetrack you there. I was just curious, because I
oh,
saw.
not at all.
Yeah,
So basically, it's more the personality. Oh, I mean, obviously, because the physicality of the characters are obviously where the differences arise from, but the personality behind those, like behind the physical side of things, is what more closely resembles the other. Because she was quite pissed when her village got burnt down, and she basically took on the big boss, even though she didn't have much training. Alita. Well, to be fair, Alita did have the skill set, but she
yeah,
just basically made a beeline for Jashugan, who was like a motorball champion.
yeah,
And even the people running the motorball games were like, no, it doesn't quite work out that way. You have to sort of, go through the motions, uh, you know, go through that second stage, and then all of a sudden it has a bit of a rocky moment where, okay, well, we'll run a promotion where we'll have a exhibition match, and you can pick a team of whatever cyborgs you want, and Jashugan will be the lone opposition, and we all know how that works out.
I would love to see Tifa in Super Smash Brothers. I'd like to see Tifa in any game.
In fact,
Actually,
let me see if we can. If there's any gameplay.
yeah.
Oh, this is a good.
I think he is here in this scene. Oh no, I guess they cut it out.
No.
Well,
Yeah,
that's Sephiroth on the left, and that's Cloud on the right.
Cloud. That's right. That's who I
Cloud,
was thinking
yeah.
of. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that.
I think Tifa and Cloud start something up, don't they? Or eventually.
They do.
Yeah.
Now, the other character is, like you said, Eve. Hurry up and load. From
Yeah.
Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
Now, being a new IP, her story is a lot more simpler.
Yeah.
But more or less, and ironically enough, this is probably something that's a little bit more grounded in our own reality. The humans in this world created an AI called Mother Sphere. Like
Yeah.
Mother Nature and the sphere of Earth. So Mother Sphere,
Yeah.
sort of combining the two. Mother Sphere saw that humans had a very, very limitation, like a lot of limitations. So to initially assist humans, she created the Andro Eidos, which is, I mean, it's not really much of a spoiler because you find out early on in the game, which is what Eve is. Now, and Andro Eidos, the sounds like you're saying androids, but they are, I guess, flesh beings at the very least, in the sense that the replicants of Blade Runner are technically cyborgs. Like they have cybernetics with flesh and blood parts, with the brains, blood cells, that sort of thing. But eventually, Mother Sphere thought, humans are not just woefully lacking, but holding us back. So she uses the android ADOS to fight with the humans, basically kicks them off their own home planet. Or was it the other way around? Geez, I'm getting my own facts mixed up. They essentially go to war. She initially wins and takes over the world, and the humans go underground and to try and fight the android ADOS. The humans themselves become nativas, which is basically evolve, or rather, I'd more call it a sideways evolution, if you will, because I wouldn't necessarily call it an upgrade.
Mhm.
More of an
But
adaptation.
I guess that would probably be a more closer word, is they adapt into what they call the nativas. And that's done through experimentation, etc. Again, you find all of this out as you play the game. And then all of a sudden the nativas turn the table and basically kick the android ADOS, back off Earth. Let's just say they kick them all the way back to Mars.
Yes.
Anyway, to try to reclaim something that wasn't theirs in the first place, they sent, like, obviously she created the angels, if you will. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called in game, which are basically a warrior caste, if you will, of the android ADOS, and that's basically what Eve is. They went in, came in a number of waves: first, second, third, fourth, but they kept on failing. And Eve is part of the seventh wave. And yeah, basically the character follows her, I guess, journey from when she lands on Earth to when she confronts the elder Nativa, which is basically, the alpha. I can't really call it an alpha because there is a such thing as an alpha Nativa as well. But essentially, it's like the if there was like a family tree, the elder Nativa would be like the apex or the pinnacle. You could say that the elder Nativa is like the apex Nativa, if you will.
Yeah.
And so yeah, her journey goes from when she lands to when she confronts the elder, and essentially what she reminds me from with the leader is more physical, where Tifa was more, mental or like personality wise. I mean, clearly she fights with the blade or sword, as it were, which has a very unique way of, how should I put it, sheathing or storage, if you will. Because basically it starts off as a hairpin. So if you've ever seen like, your more traditional Japanese movies where the females are in the kimonos and they have like the hairpins and whatnot in the back of the
Yeah.
head. Some of them look like, they stick chopsticks in there and sort of thing. And that's more or less the same setup. She'll take one out, she'll electrify it, and it basically turns into a sword.
Now she's a human, right?
She's an
Or-
android ADOS.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I forget why. Again, I don't pay too much attention to or rather, I didn't pay too much attention at first. And as a subsequent result, I forget why, but they initially think that, or she initially thinks that she's human and trying to reclaim the Earth from the alien race. However, that's just another lie fabricated by Mother Sphere, the AI that was created by humans,
Mhm.
to keep control of that warrior caste, as I mentioned.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's probably a little bit more simpler as well. Like I said, she fights with a sword. She does have a few. While you can't really use it in game, she does have a few unarmed combat moves
Yeah.
and so forth.
And she could engulf that sword with energy too, right?
Correct. She can also change into angel form as well.
Oh, look at that third one down there. Is that Tifa and Cloud kissing each other?
Yeah. I wonder if it shows up here. Oh, this looks like it. So basically, she has an angel form as well,
Cool.
where she can fight. Go as far as using the wing as a weapon. This looks like one of the final, like the stages that's like close to the end of the game. But you really can't do much except beat the crap out of everything in that form anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, go back and play it. So yeah, like, and that's the aspect that Eve reminds me of Alita, is the more combative nature, the aesthetics. That's the word I was looking for. The aesthetics, the looks. Not so much the personality, because she's Eve is quite gullible at first, but
Naive.
naive. Yes, that's a much better word. Thank you, Lee. But as the game progresses, she learns more about the world that she lives in, and the
Sounds
world
actually a
that
bit like
takes.
Alita, because Alita was a little
Yeah.
bit naive when she first
Yeah.
reawoken.
There you go. It didn't even occur to me in that aspect until you brought it up. So I can't believe I didn't pick up on it. But
The developers of this game that used Alita as a inspiration too, didn't they, Angelus?
again, it was more for the aesthetics,
Yeah.
like the. Let me see if I can bring it up. So basically, will it actually load up the pictures though? No. But basically, the aesthetics, like this, is very reminiscent of the Badlands in
Yes.
Alita.
Yeah.
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 The Great Desert is another one that's sort of similar. Like it's
Yeah.
very similar in color scheme, but it's a lot different being a desert area. So it's not as rocky. There's a lot more dunes and sands, sand dunes. Sorry, and but yeah, it was inspired by the aesthetics of Alita's cyberpunk world, and in fact, I wonder if I can find anything more. Hashtag Stellar Blade.
Oh wow. Wow.
There are cosplays of her as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
there's one where like it's got like a back. That's the one, or one
Yeah.
of them anyway, where like like her like entire spine, if you will. I'd imagine probably most of her rib cage, and most major bones, like your
Yeah.
maybe not so much the like fingers and toes, stuff like that, but your major forearms, upper arms, like your like the I don't know what the names of the bones are called, but like I said, the major skeletal bones I'd imagine would be cybernetic as well, much like the spine, as you can see.
Mhm.
And depending on what gear you have, what stage of the game you are, the looks of it can change because obviously it gets better and better and upgraded, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I say that she's more a cyborg than an android, even though the name Andro Eidos implies that it's android in nature.
But she's got a human brain, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually confirm or deny that in game. So yeah, and neither do. Oh, hang on, sorry. Let me go back here. They're the two characters that I say that remind me most about Alita.
What about that character from Black Lotus? That kind of reminds me of Alita. What was her name?
L.
Elle, that's right. Yeah. Because that was a lot like Alita, right? I mean, with that series you and I watched a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
I'll quickly bring that up. L. Black Lotus.
Yeah. Now she's full human.
No, she's a replicant. In
that's
Blade Runner, she's a replicant.
well, yeah, but still, yeah, replicant, but a human though. I mean, she's still like a yeah, she's a what do they call it? A clone, right?
A clone of sorts, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, while we're just temporarily on the Black Lotus subject, L versus what's her name? White Lily? That one.
Yeah.
Well, they have multiple battles, but bloody ads.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. That's in the last episode that we watched, I think.
Second last episode.
Okay.
Or this particular fight. So they're both replicants, or using Stellar Blade terms, Andro Eidos. And obviously, as you can see, they're using a combination of weapons and close quarters. Using anything she can pick up as a weapon. Hang on, go back to this one. No, it doesn't come up. Damn it.
Oh well.
Like I said, they do have a second fight at the final episode, like you mentioned. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a very enjoyable series, Black Lotus.
Like I've got like a very long list of female characters that I like, but only a few of them have like similarities to Alita.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, I'm fond of Neytiri from the Avatar series.
Mm-hmm.
But there's very little, if anything at all, that she shares with Alita there. Sarah Connor, there's a few, like aside from being in the same world as the Terminator, there's very little that they share. Like there's some aspects, but I wouldn't say enough to part of it. But like I said, those three, I guess in total, particular characters have the most in common with our Cyber Queen.
Yeah. Well, certainly Alita does have a lot in common with Motoko Kusanagi. The one thing, before we move on from her, would be one thing that struck me that was very Alita-like was when she pulled the top off of that spider tank. That required superhuman strength, for her to do that. And it seems like something Alita would do as well.
I have a feeling Alita would have had an easier time with it, though.
Yeah, I think Alita's stronger than Motoko Kusanagi, but it was very Alita-like what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Motoko
Okay.
strikes me as fairly fearless, much like Alita.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like like I said, I won't be able to stick around for too much longer. But while you're going through this list, what made me suggest this topic in general is as I don't want to come across as like I'm the biggest Alita fan, but as an Alita fan, like every single piece of media or story or whatever that I consume, like anything that remotely resembles or reminds me of Alita, I'll it's like a radar that just doesn't turn off. Like it's constantly pinging.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's like you end up picking up. Oh, that kind of reminds me of when Alita did this in the manga or the movie or anime or whatever sort of thing. So as you, much like the example that you just gave with Motoko, when you do get to the stage where, was there anything we missed? That's something that both the panel and those in live chat can consider.
Yeah, we watched the live action, and we watched the that one episode, I guess, or that one movie, short movie, I guess, of Ghost in the Shell. And both of those characters both remind me of Alita, I think. I don't know. Smendrick, I think you probably have the same idea, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Scarlet Witch, not too much. Scarlet Witch certainly is, she's a member of the Avengers, but she's, she doesn't have hardly anything in common with Alita, except for the fact that she's a strong female character, superhero type thing, but she is a witch. She's not an android or anything like that, or a cyborg. She's pure human, but in the DC sense, you could consider her a metahuman. Because
she's an altered human, if I remember correctly. They actually ran, I think it was Hydra that ran some experiments on her and her brother, turning them into what they are now.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, she evolved from there. So, I mean, she got even stronger, so she's pretty potent, but there's not a whole lot about her that reminds me of Alita, but I just kind of wanted to stick her in there because she is a very strong female character as well,
This is probably one where the personality aspects would probably be more, because she does have a very, I guess. Oh.
Well, and it depends on what. Yeah.
I was going to say complicated, but not that. Is another C word.
Yeah.
Conflicted, I guess.
Yeah.
Conflicted backstory.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing about her too, it depends on what version, because I know in Doctor Strange, what is that, the Multiverse of Madness or something like that, she was the Scarlet Witch in that one was evil, So
there was a version of her that was evil.
It was evil, yeah, that's right. So now I think she's the sister of Quicksilver, so, and of course he's got super speed. And that version of her starts out as somebody who's fighting with Hydra and that kind of stuff, but eventually she comes around and is in the Avengers, and that version of her is certainly more like Alita personality-wise, I think.
And again, that's more of a spiritual link.
Yes.
She does initially lose her brother. She does lose Vision.
Yeah.
So she's no stranger to loss, especially of things that she that has great sentimental value, or that she loves in general, whether it be people or places or whatever sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So any thoughts about her, guys, Svendrick or Lee, or even Angelus? Anything about her you want to add?
I mean, I like her as a character, but I don't see her being seeing a whole lot of similarities between her and Alita, really, except for maybe superficially.
Yeah, just I guess the personality part, the care for other people and stuff like that. And hello, Chaos Nova from Mentor, Ohio.
Hi there.
So anyway, Supergirl. Now here's another one. Not a lot in common with Alita. Now, they personality-wise, they're very similar. They both care about other people. They want to protect the innocent, I guess, or something like this. But Supergirl is, she's a godlike character. I mean, God with a little G, that is.
Yeah.
And she's invulnerable. I mean, except to kryptonite. So. And Alita certainly is not invulnerable, but where they do have similarities is that they both have, they can both project energy I guess they both have intrinsic energy weapons. Supergirl can project heat vision, and Alita certainly has a plasma weapon, that she can use. They both have super speed as well, so they both have that in common physically. I would say Supergirl is probably a lot stronger than Alita is. She's probably more on par with Superman, than Alita would be. But, both of them have superhuman strength. She is considered a metahuman, even though she's a Kryptonian. And in the DC universe, they consider Kryptonians humanoids or humans with superior biology. That's the only thing that I've seen.
They basically classify anybody with powers above a baseline human as a metahuman.
Exactly. Because you can make the argument that Cyborg, he's a cyborg. They call him a metahuman as well, even though he's mostly machine. But he has abilities that are above human as well. So. But personality-wise, they're very similar, in terms of wanting to, protect those that are not that are vulnerable or, not well off or whatever, physically weak or, innocent, whatever. So, Chaos, what you got for us, bud? You got anything you want to put in the public chat or private chat? You want me to?
In a minute. I'm most of what. There actually is a video coming tomorrow. I'll do that. Just a minute.
Okay.
It includes Battle Angel Alita. They seed for the manga as the end of it, but I continued my old series because they just get a lot of views.
Yeah. Put that in the private chat. I'll be happy to put it in the public chat. So. Anyway, you guys, anybody got any thoughts about Supergirl? I mean, certainly she doesn't even look like Alita. She's got long blonde hair, and Alita's got short black hair.
So, I think she's taller too.
And she's taller, and but they both got uwu, so they got that in common, I guess.
Yeah.
I think you probably find that most of them are taller than Alita.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, hell, Alita's even taller than KranberriJam.
Yeah, I can't wait till she meets you, Angelus. She's gonna punch you. Kran is petite, though, that's for sure. I know I've met Kran, so she is petite. So,
well, she aims high enough. She might be able to punch me in the knee.
Yeah. Be careful, she might put you somewhere else too. So anyway,
be careful, quite a bit of your lower body's within range.
Yeah, that's right. So So yeah, but I think they do have some common physical traits, but overall, I think Supergirl's much more powerful. Now, I would say that Alita in her Imaginos 2.1 body would probably give her a pretty, if they were to fight, not that they would fight each other, because they're basically, you know, on the same side, if you want to think of it as that. But it would be a more interesting fight. But I think Alita in anything but the Imaginos 2.1 body, or say any of the Imaginos bodies, particularly the 2.1, she ain't gonna stand a chance against Supergirl. You know, Supergirl's
seems unlikely.
Yeah.
I mean, Kryptonians are kind of the in that overpowered category. When you
they're a lot like Asgardians. Yeah, a lot like Asgardians. Yeah, for sure. And of course, they have a tier structures too. I mean, Supergirl and Superman, Kal-El and Kara Zor-El as their names, they're upper tier, you know, in terms of their physical abilities and I guess their superior genetics or something like that. But yeah, even the average Kryptonian is much stronger than a human. So okay, and then there's Valkyrie.
She's another Asgardian.
Yeah, she's an Asgardian, so she's a lot like you know, Lady Sif, and in some regard like Supergirl. And she's not near as powerful as Supergirl, you know, because I think if you took now you remember that in Thor Ragnarok, Valkyrie and Thor both fought, and Loki for that matter, all three of them fought against Hela, and Hela had the upper hand against all three of them. But I think if Supergirl or Superman were to fight Hela, you know, Hela would have her hands full with that one, with those, either one of those, you know. But she's a good fighter with a sword, you know, certainly.
Oh, she was an elite soldier in the Asgardian military. She the Valkyries, I think, were like an elite unit.
Yeah, that's right. And expert fighter, you know, and certainly knows swordsmanship, and like say is a superhuman, you know, in that regard. And I think she's a lot like Alita too, in that she you know, has a good heart, you know, and she wants to protect, you know, the more.
Well, she kind of fell a bit further than Alita, I think, when she hit her rough patch.
Yeah, I think so. You know, when she was,
I mean, she basically gave in and became much like many of the people around her.
Yeah, when she was on
mercenary.
When she was on Sakaar, I guess, right? Something like that. Yeah. But I think she kind of, in the movie Thor Ragnarok, I think she kind of got a little bit of a crush on Thor. I think perhaps, you know,
maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
But I don't see, even in her lowest, I didn't see any indication that Alita would ever do something like enslaving people.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Or dragging them into enslavement.
Yeah, so they could fight in the arena. Yeah, for sure.
Something like that.
Yeah, because that's what she was doing for the. What was that? Who was that she was doing that with?
I can't remember the guy's name, but it was Jeff Goldblum. Every time I think of him, I just think of Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
the Game Master.
Oh, okay,
there you go. Yeah. So anyway, he was the one that was putting people in the I guess in the arena to fight, and of course Valkyrie was getting those you know, kind of like a bounty hunter.
In order to keep herself out of the arena, she was getting people for the arena.
Yeah, that's right. So, and that would be a little bit like a bounty hunter. So she would have that in common with Alita, you know, I guess. And she was in special operations, I guess you could call it.
That's the thing. I think getting people for the arena is more basically putting them into slavery.
Yeah.
And Alita never went in after anybody that she wasn't certain deserved it.
Yeah,
at least I don't think she did.
Yeah. But the function of it's similar anyway.
Basically.
Yeah.
But Valkyrie did have some good qualities, which is why she was able to redeem herself the way she was and decided to start fighting for something more than just survival.
Yeah, that's right.
But that aside,
not too much.
Quite as much.
She's got that ooh-woo going, so I mean, maybe that they all got the ooh-woo going. So I mean, that's gonna, you know, she has that in common with Alita, I guess. So. All right. Anything else about Valkyrie? Valkyrie knows loss too, as well, because you remember when Odin sent the Valkyries to kill Hela. You remember?
Yeah,
Hela
they all got
wiped them
wiped out.
out.
And
They
she
all
was
got
pretty
wiped
much the
out,
only
and
survivor.
Valkyrie's significant other was, I guess, her lover. I guess, got killed in the process. And that left a mark on her. So
Well, it
that's
wouldn't just be that one. I mean, they were an elite unit that trained and fought together. So there was a
yeah,
lot of comrades she would have lost there.
yeah,
So she lost a lot of people she cared about.
yeah. Any other thoughts about her? Well, before we get to the real life stuff, Wonder Woman. Now, Wonder Woman, not too much, reminds me a whole lot of Alita, but she is expert with a sword, so that she's got that going for her. She's not a, well, I guess you could say she's a human, but she was created by Zeus, and
I think
I
she might
guess,
be part human at the very least.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. But she's certainly got superhuman strength. Was able to pick up that tank, and throw it, and she did that a couple of
Yeah,
times.
she's got
So,
superhuman strength and toughness.
and she's fast, I mean, she
Mhm.
deflected all those machine gun, all those bullets from the Grandmaster. That's right. That's going
And
back.
she's got a propensity for protecting people and defending those that are in need.
Yeah, that's right. So,
I think out of all of them, I think actually Wonder Woman reminds me most of Alita.
oh, really? Oh, in terms of her personality or
Her personality and her capabilities. They're both
Yeah.
really strong, really good
Yeah.
fighters, and they tend to protect those who can't protect themselves.
Yeah. She's not quite as strong as, say, Superman or Supergirl, but she's close. So, she would be, I think she's on a tier with, say, Kryptonians and Asgardians, and probably closer to the upper tier of both. Certainly lived on Themyscira, which is a fantasy island on Earth. With the Amazons, that are all a superior race of women, and she certainly is part of that. Her mother is Hippolyta, which is, of course, one of Zeus's, I guess, wives, or consorts, or whatever you want to call them, and that's where she came into
Something
being.
like that.
Yeah, and she fought a god. She fought Ares and killed him. So that's that says a lot right there. That she can kill a Greek god. But yeah, she's and she's very much like Alita in terms of her mental and emotional makeup. They both lost the love of their life, and stuff like that. So they got a lot in common. Any thoughts about Wonder Woman, you guys, before we move on to the real life people?
I pretty much already had my say about it. So
Yes,
I'm keen to see who you've got on the real life list.
Oh, we're not going to go to a bunch of slides on that because I just got one slide, and here it is. And of course, who reminds us of Alita in real life? Absolutely, the first one. Rosa. That's right. Rosa is Alita, and Alita is Rosa. So yeah, she definitely does. Yeah. Now, some of these are in real life people. You probably don't know some of them. Gina Carano, of course, is an actress, but she was in that series, The Mandalorian, and she's pretty badass in that in terms of being a fighter and that kind of stuff.
She's also in that series, UFC, I believe.
Yeah, she was. She was a fighter, in that one, a real life fighter in that one, and she was pretty good at it, but I guess she wasn't the best, but she was definitely upper tier, and I know I wouldn't want to have to fight her because that would be more than the creek could handle, I think. But yeah, she's outstanding, I think she ran into some trouble with Disney over, a comment she made. And, I think I think probably she shouldn't have made the comment, but my thought.
Well, from what I saw of the comments, it was basically just, why can't we be nice to each other kind of thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. But, I think Disney was definitely wrong to do to her what they did. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, maybe she doesn't have the same politics you do or something like that, but you don't hire an actor or actress or anybody based on their politics. You hire them because they're good at what they do, and I think Gina Carano is real good at what she does, so anyway, and she was in another movie called Haywire too, where she had a scene with Tatum Channing in that, where she fought him in the beginning. She was kicking his butt, which I thought was hilarious, but I really like her a lot, so Greta Thunberg, I guess.
I can't really see
in terms of her, not similarities from physically and all that kind of stuff, but she does have kind of the drive to do better for, the earth or people or whatever, which is kind of like what Alita has for Iron City. She sees Iron City as a wonderful place. She, and has just positive vibes about it. And I think Greta has some of that. Now, she doesn't remind me of Alita as much as, say, some of the others, but, the mental part of it, I guess, that part of it, perhaps,
I'm not really sure I can agree with you there either. I've seen some other interviews and whatnot with Miss Thunberg, and I don't know. It seems like she may not be entirely authentic about some of that stuff.
Oh gosh,
I'm afraid so.
All right. Well, anyway, we can agree to disagree on that one. It's okay.
Yeah.
Simone Biles, certainly athletically, I would say, not so much, and basically who she is as a person and even how she looks. I mean, but an outstanding athlete, which is what Alita is. Alita is an outstanding motorball player. It's like at the end of the movie, you heard the announcer say that she was able to move up through the ranks of the second league in just a few months. Well, that's great athleticism right there. Well, Simone Biles definitely has that.
Drive, focus, physical capability.
Yes, absolutely. And Serena Williams is very similar to that as well. I mean, Serena Williams and Simone Biles are different in terms of their athleticism. Serena Williams is more of a tennis player, or she is a tennis player, but she's an excellent athlete. She's a really great tennis player, or was. I think she retired already, I think. But it's kind of like Alita is great at motorball. She's great at tennis, so they have that in common. Now, certainly, by the way, none of these women up here have an inherent plasma weapon or anything like that, So all of the similarities would be more in personality, say, or who they are, their mental makeup or their emotional makeup would be similar. Emma Watson, only reason I put her in there because I know she was somebody had taken her face and made her look like Alita. She does do some activist stuff that is meant to do good for the human race, I guess you could say. But other than that, I can't see a whole lot of similarities there. Maybe a couple. All of them have similarities to being strong females. All of them do. Sha'Carri Richardson is also, she's a great sprinter. I mean, she's another one like in terms of like Alita, she's fast. I mean, she runs. And she's a champion sprinter. So great athlete, similar to the way Alita is. In the movie. In Motorball. So, but anyway, that's just a quick list I put together there of the real life females that may have some traits that are in common with Alita. You guys, can you think of anyone else?
Well, not really off the top of my head. I mean, Alita is kind of a fairly fantastical character because of...
It's kind of hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, she's a cut above just about even quite a few people in fiction. So I don't really see a whole lot of people that it could be similar to her in real life, honestly.
Yeah, just some similar traits, maybe. You know, like I guess you
Yeah.
could bring up Caitlin Clark would be another one. She's a great basketball player, you know, but no, it's not too much in terms of similarity, other than that they're both athletic, you know. So,
although I suppose some of the women from the 588th Night Bomber Regiment might.
yeah,
I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I've heard of them. Yes,
The Nazis called them the Night Witches.
yeah.
They flew outdated crop dusters on bombing missions against Nazi emplacements.
Yeah, they were badass.
They did it without parachutes for a couple reasons. One of them being the parachute was more weight that they wouldn't be able to use for ordnance.
Yeah.
And another reason being that if their plane went down, they didn't want to be captured by the Nazis.
Yeah.
What I think we missed all the beautiful cosplayers here.
Oh, yes.
Think of 622. Think
Yes.
of Little Gem.
Yes. Yes.
All these girls doing fantastic jobs cosplaying Alita.
That
or Yoko or whatever.
Yeah. That is a great catch, Smendrick. Absolutely. And there are a ton of them out there.
Yeah.
You know, that they are so good at being Alita cosplayer that is great. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't think of that. So anything else, guys, that you can think of? Anybody else?
Well, there is actually another female soldier from World War II. I can't remember her name for the life of me right now. But when her husband was killed by the Nazis, she sold all of her possessions and donated the proceeds to purchase a tank, and then actually drove it into battle with a crew that she trained with to fight the Nazis.
Wow.
And she ended up dying in combat.
Or how about some of those girls on X that are fighting for the Ukrainian? They're fighting with the Ukrainian military against the Russians. Yeah. And Alita the Killing Angel. Can I say my mother, because she's pretty badass? LOL. Yeah. Sure you can, Alita the Killing Angel. You absolutely can say your mother. Yeah. I think all of us would like to put our mother in there, you know.
Yeah.
Although my mother was more of a dog lover than anything. But she had a good heart, you know, like Alita did, you know. So yeah, that's cool.
Oh
yeah, let's not forget. Yeah.
I finally discovered I had the face, I had the character name, but I couldn't think of the actress name until now.
Okay.
Raina Vallandam.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've seen her. Oh, I wouldn't want to fight her. Yeah, she could definitely put a butt whooping on you, couldn't she?
Now, where I know her from,
yeah,
is the Cobra Kai series.
Ah. Damn, she's badass. Yeah, blows a kiss. I love that after kicking the guy's butt. Who's that she's fighting, Angelus?
Just a random dojo in the competition that the series is currently in.
Oh, she's got uwu too, doesn't she?
Great.
That too.
Yes. Okay, guys. Anyone else? Let me see what. Okay, here's Chaos Nova. I'm gonna put this in the public chat here, Chaos. If anybody wants to go check this out.
Well, funny you should say that, because I accidentally as soon as I closed it, I reminded myself of another one.
Okay, that's fine. Bring them on.
That's the one.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight her either. Boy, she's got good kicks, doesn't she? God.
Oof.
Yes. Wow.
Well, I
Yeah.
want you to notice the guy that's in the corner
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, who is that?
That one there.
Who is that?
After the kick.
Yeah. Nice.
Goes, oh, that looked like it hurt.
Yes, it does.
And her name is Amy Johnston.
Ah.
From looking it up, like basically when I discovered her, I always like look it up and see what their background is, their history, and apparently her father's like a 5-time American kickboxing champ or something like that.
Wow.
And obviously her love of martial arts stemmed from that.
Yeah.
And she initially got trained in traditional wushu kung fu, and then obviously expanded into general MMA and stunt work. Because
Wow.
she actually, one more thing, Amy Johnston versus Scott Adkins. This is the one. All right. So one more video.
All right, that's good.
That's there's more to showcase
Okay. Yeah.
why I see her as someone that reminds me of Alita.
Cool. Hang on, let me look for. I'm looking for one here for. Let me see. I'll find it here in a minute.
So yeah, with while you're looking for that, I'll look at live chat, see if anyone else is saying anything.
Okay, let me see if I can. Yeah, I found the name anyway. So let's go over and grab it. And this is why this is. Let me just a second. Let me get where it is right there.
While you're getting that up.
Yep.
To Alita, the Killing Angel. I'd say all mothers are like that. There's a particular scene from a TV series. I won't go too much into it, but basically the line is, never underestimate a mama bear when her cub's in danger.
That's right.
And so that's why I say, generally speaking, any parent.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, especially mothers, because they have that physical bond as well.
Yeah.
But any mother worth their weight in gold.
Yep.
That deserves to be called a mother is pretty much badass, because, basically to summarize my point, if the only she would discipline me and my sister pretty harshly depending on how badly we screwed up. But if anyone else tried to discipline us, they'd cop it even worse, basically.
Yeah. Well, here's why Rosa reminds me of Alita.
Ooh.
That for sure.
again, when you're watching this, guys and girls, obviously as a martial artist, we can nitpick to the nth degree, but also, as I mentioned earlier, it still requires a high level of athleticism and an ability to make it look good and make it look real for a camera. And obviously, Rosa does that pretty damn well.
What I like too about what Rosa said in that one interview was that I think somebody said something about, were you worried about looking good or something? She said, no, I didn't want to look good. I wanted to be good. So that speaks highly of her, dedication, to
this one.
Yeah. Look at that girl. God damn.
See, if you mucked up,
man,
she probably would have done that back at Pasadena.
Yeah, she would have knocked the creek on his ass. Yeah, she would have.
She wouldn't be so sweet and innocent then.
Now this form here is called the Southern Fist. So it's a kung fu form, I think. People always have this. Some people have this misconception: kung fu is slow and soft. No, it's not.
Who on earth would think that?
I don't know. There are people that do, though.
It's not so much the style as it would be.
Look at that lady. God Almighty, she is impressive, man. I'm telling you. Look at that shit. God. Holy crap.
To further my point, like I said, when I say it requires a high level of athleticism, one slip up from either Rosa or the person she's fighting, and the other person would have like a big red mark across their face or body or arm.
Bang! broke that bow. And that right there is why Rosa reminds the Creek of Alita, because she's not just because she has the ooh going for her, but because she being able to pull off those moves like that, that's pretty amazing in my book. So
that right there is why Rodriguez chose Rosa to play Alita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's pretty much all I got. Did we miss anything? Except the sequels, right, Smendrick? We're missing the sequels.
Yeah. Tell it to Bob Iger.
That's
Are you listening, guy?
Really?
In the background, or one of your top managers, so-called top managers, bring us the sequel.
Yes. We want those sequels.
And not by the end of the year, an announcement, but in the next few days or weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. I'm getting angry.
I agree with David Alexandra. Yep, Rosa was born to play Alita. Yes, she was. Man, I'm telling you, she is fantastic. And not to just, I don't want to go off the deep end about Rosa again, but if you could have seen her in that play at Pasadena, you can see why Rosa was really the best choice, to play Alita. Man, she is just a superb actress, just really superb. Anyway, let me get off of that. Anyway, you can see from that center panel right there that Alita does love her Uncle Creek, and that's because he wants a sequel, and he wants sequels. He doesn't want just one movie as a sequel. I want 2 as a minimum. And I want 5 sequels. So we get 6 movies, and we'll get us a series and some more anime and merch and games and stuff like that. So that's what the Creek wants. And if you don't like it, if you don't like the fact that Alita loves her Uncle Creek, well, you can take it up with her, and you can figure that out when she starts showing you that plasma weapon. Any other questions or topics you guys might want to cover?
No, but just a quick. I guess I won't be able to go to the US anytime soon, or at least not to the West Coast anyway. To think that
you coming to Denver, are you, Angelus?
Yes.
Denver, we're not
Florida. Hell, I might even just go to Texas again because I had a lot of fun back then.
Oh God, yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was.
Especially,
yeah,
I want to get more involved in that VR too. That was fun.
Yeah, I gotta get down to Straya. I want to see that. I want to go to my bucket list, which is a long way off because you remember the creek's immortal. But I want to go to Australia. Then I want to go to New Zealand. I want to do that. I certainly want to go to Tasmania, which is probably Australia, but because I want to see. Well, I've already met Angelus, but I want to meet Max Tack in person, and Dizzy. I want to meet him because I like Dizzy. He's I haven't seen Dizzy on X for a while, but he's still around, I think. So and then of course I want to go to New Zealand because my mother really wanted to go to New Zealand, so it's kind of like a pilgrimage there. But anyway, that's another story. All right, guys. Well, there's our queen right there, and of course, like I said a while ago, Rosa is Alita, and Alita is Rosa. And, it's like David Alexandra said a while ago, there's no reason to look for anybody else to play Alita. This is Alita, and you want to keep her in there for sure. I also want to give a shout out to Eldamont and Jesse Fisher because they brought Screwhead to life. And what the Creek really wants to see in the sequel is I want to see Alita and Screwhead kind of make up and get on the same motorball team, and then take on Josh Agan. That's what I want to see, because that'd be cool to see Screwhead shooting out that grappling chain, playing motorball. That'd be the coolest thing, So all three of these ladies are really good at what they do, and certainly being pretty is a plus, but they're not up there what they're doing because they're pretty. They're there because they're great at what they do, so, and we're really fortunate to have all three of them, in Alita Battle Angel, and certainly Rosa, to be Alita. We are certainly very lucky to have her as Alita. So, okay, who's the host tomorrow there, Angelus? Is that going to be you, or is that going to be Maxie?
I'll have to be Maxie because I'll be at least half an hour late.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Finish work at 7:30, maybe get home at 7:40.
Ah, okay. Does he know to do the news?
I'll remind him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to take a look at Zapan and Sarah. You may remember that's Zapan's love of his life, I guess, at least according to the manga. And then, of course, those of you familiar with the manga, he messes up. And, well, let's not do any spoilers. But the bottom line is that he and Sarah, are no longer items. And you can figure that out by reading the manga. And we want to figure out, is this show enough love, as they say down south, or is this kind of like more of a Romeo and Juliet type thing? So join us tomorrow on Radio Chaos. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about that. And I just want to remind people that we have the Stammtisch after that. Now we're going to do kind of a shorter Stammtisch today because the Creek's got some friends coming over about in a little less than an hour. So we have to kind of cut it a little bit short, but we can stick on for a while and talk. But if you want to get on there, there's the link that's underneath that picture. I just put it back in the chat if you want to click on that. What's neat about this is we don't stream this. This is just a bunch of us that love Alita sitting around talking. And we talk about a character and an IP we really love. And, of course, I don't drink beer at the Stammtisch. Do you, Smendrick? Maybe you do.
No. Not this evening.
Yeah, not this Stammtisch anyway, right? So, but yeah, we have a lot of fun because we talk about various things, you know, and certainly it's just us. You know, nobody on YouTube sees this. You know, it's just folks that love Alita talking. So join us after the stream if you want to. And even after the stream is ended, you can still click on the link in the chat down below. Not the chat, the description. I think it's down in the description. I'll have to check. If it isn't, I'm going to put it down there. And you can click on it, or you can click on, you know, what I just put in the chat right here, this one. And you come on to the, you know, come into the instance here, and you can just talk with us, and no pressure. You know, you're not talking to a bunch of people that are, you know, watching the stream or whatever, or will watch the stream. Most of my viewers of my streams are after the stream's over, because a lot of them are in Asia. So, but anyway, you know, we just have fun talking about what we want to talk about, and that's Alita. And just as a reminder, we are the Alita Army. And of course, you know, we support Alita and Rosa passionately and positively. We want those sequels. And you guys probably know that one of the things we did do here last week, and I, you know, I uploaded a couple of videos, one to a couple of my channel and one to Radio Chaos, where we got that little girl Maria. Well, she's not a little girl; she's a teenager. But we got her a hero arm, you know. So you know, that's the Alita Army has you know, a big heart, you know, and we want to see folks that have been dealt a bad hand. We want to see them their lives improved, of course, and of course, getting Maria that hero arm was that was you know, one of the high points of the early part of this year. I know Vladi really loved it. So, you know, and the Creek really loved it as well. I got to talk to Maria on a Zoom call, and to her mother. Well, it wasn't her mother. I think that was her aunt. I think her mother passed away. I don't remember. But anyway, whoever her guardian was, we were talking, you know, and it was just a lot of fun watching her with that hero arm. And of course, she, you know, writes down on that whiteboard, "Thank you, Alita Army," and stuff like, put a little heart on it and stuff like
and
that.
And unless she had practiced beforehand, which by the look of the video, she didn't.
Yeah.
She was able to do that like from the get-go as well.
Yeah.
So that lends credence to both her own capabilities and that of the hero arm itself.
Yeah, that's right. So now we've got another cyborg in the Alita Army. So, so, you know, like, just like Tilly Lockey and that little boy, I can't remember his name now, that we did year before last, Vladi was on that call. So anyway, we really enjoy doing that. But one of the main things we want Disney to know is that we are the Alita Army, and we are here to stay. We are not going anywhere, Disney, until you give us those sequels. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. You might think, oh, we'll just wait them out. They'll give up eventually. Anybody that thinks that about the Creek Indian, they don't understand him very well. Because I will stay after it until I get it, you know. And I think all of us will. Now, that said, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to do the call to action. But before we do that, why is that image here? Well, that image is there because I like it. And the Creek certainly likes any image of Alita, of course. And to paraphrase Gruwishka, I am only here for our girl and the Alita Army, because all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl and each other. So, you know, yep, Disney, you hear that? We're only here for our girl, Disney, and we're here for those sequels. So that just leaves us with this to do, and that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Film
sequels,
baby.
All right, so we'll catch you tomorrow on Radio Chaos and next week on the Alita Livestream. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.